Hello all of you wonderful SimCity fans out there. Here's a video that many of you have been looking forward to. It's just some of my thoughts, reflections, and of course a little bit of playthrough of the second beta of the rebranded series SimCity. If you've been playing the SimCity genre as long as I have, you probably remember your first experiences with the very first SimCity, maybe either on your Windows computer or perhaps on maybe Super Nintendo. To keep things straight, I'm going to be referring to this one as 2013, simply because for all of you newer gamers out there, well, just imagine if the next Mass Effect was called Mass Effect. It'd be a little bit confusing. So probably referring to this as SimCity 2013 for the duration. And now that that's straightened, let me double check my settings really quick here. Not really a fan of tilt shift very much. Maybe I'll throw it on in my later. Shadows to keep everything off. Alright, yeah, we should be good. Ah, no, not that. You, go away. And as you see here, we have 1 hour to play the beta, so let's jump right on in and see what all the hype is about. Alright, got our region loading up here. Our lovely little beta city that they give us to use. As you can see, it is part of a greater region, which you can always access with the regional view, which gives you access to the Great Works, which you can't do anything in the current beta. Another city, which I'm fairly certain, yeah, you can't do anything within the beta. It's just giving you an impression of what the actual game is going to have. You're going to have, along in here, you're going to have cities that can be built on. You're going to have something that you all can collaborate on. Unfortunately, you are also going to have a lot of distance between your cities, as you can see here. It's become a sticking point with some people who prefer the more the more SimCity 4-ish style, where everything is all together and sprawling into this like grand megalopolis. But that is then, and this is now. Now we are starting off with this relatively minimalist UI. Some people have not been liking it. I think it's pretty cool. I like everything all neat and clean in my interface, and this definitely is. Immediately what you want to take note of, though, I can't really highlight it, but you might see this maximum density supported underneath inside the tooltip. That is crucial, because in SimCity, everything relates to that density. It's not, for example, let's go make some roads and show you this a little bit better. Let's go ahead and take Avenue. You can see our money down here, 50k. Need to be a little bit careful of it. Let's just do something a bit like, I don't know, that real fast. Just so I can get, yeah, these guys. See, I only have residential, commercial, industrial. You notice no extra choices pop up from that, because the density of those particular zones all go back to the density of the road that you're putting them on. If I put, for example, residential on, let's say, a zone that only supports medium density, you can figure out from that what you're going to get, and thus not be surprised. So right away I have to decide how I want to build. Let's show off some of the tools while we're doing this. Let's say a circular tool, and let's do medium density circular tool, because let's face it, that thing is pretty cool. A lot of people struggled to make like roundabouts and what have you in previous SimCity titles. Here they put it into a nice little tool that allows you to do whatever. Only thing that I don't like, unless I'm completely retarded, is once you're drawing it, there's no way to really kind of move it around before you click it in. I mean, what you see seems to be what you get. And if you think it's off center, you might be sitting here drawing it for, a little while before you get what you're looking for. So that's my own little gripe with it. Let's go ahead and connect that up, sure. Oh my god. Oh, wrong tool. Can't connect it up with a circle. I'm stupid. There we go. Can connect that on up. The outlines are... Oh, we'll get to that later. Let's see. What else do I want to do here? Immediately when you're planning out your city, you might be thinking, okay, you need 3 things. You need your residential, you need commercial, and you need your industrial. But one thing that's interesting about the industrial is this little tool that immediately pops up that tells me which way the wind is blowing. Because obviously you do not want, let's say, a bunch of industrial here with the smoke being essentially put in right towards your residence, which would be directly above it. That is something, okay, I guess I did not hit escape, but we'll go with it. Why not? Why not? So that is something that you would most definitely want to avoid. So for right now, I think we're just going to have right here just be a bunch of, yeah, I think we're just going to have this be a bunch of industry. So let's do something a little bit like this. I'm not going to spend too much time designing anything. This is, after all, simply a beta. I don't know if I need a medium density avenue, so right now I'm going to say... yeah, let's just go ahead and connect with a medium density avenue. Why not? There we go. So from that, we're going to have our first round of industry, which will happily double row it. Cause a traffic issue later on, but oh well. Let's see, in terms of people, yeah, I want this residential. I'm probably gonna have that as commercial. Gonna need something else off of this side. Haven't had a lot of time to experiment with the beta. I mean, you only have an hour and then it resets. Some people have gone nuts and they've been playing it non-stop, and that's okay. Let's see, it looks like this is a nice little line. I can do something like this, I suppose, or if I want, I can take an arc tool and take the same arc, whoops, oh, for frack's sake. I swear I hit escape. But no problem, demolishing things is pretty easy in this game. Take the medium density tool again, we're under arc. That's a little bit larger than I wanted it to be. I actually kind of wanted it to snap into this as just a half circle. That may have been a little bit not going to happen though. Unless I'm a little bit creative with it. Let's see, how about this side? Can I do it from here too? Alright, we're pretty much along the line, and then I can just take this and connect it up for my little half arc. Might not be the best way to go about it, but that's the way I'm going to go about it. Might also not be the best way to actually develop here, but we're going to go with it as well. Now, one thing that they're going to want immediately is water, and I do like the simulation. Okay, that's not water, you moron. There we go, that's water. And I do like the simulation of this, how I can just watch and see where all of my water goes, because you can see it's being pumped out there, right? And slowly but surely, it's going to go along the roads, and it's going to calculate what, who it can service and who it can't, and as it services them, as I'm sure and you've seen in many of the videos so far, they all light up nice and blue. Will we miss SimCity 4's clicking and dragging pipelines? We might. I confess, it is something that we might actually miss. But for now, we will not mind. I'm gonna go with our lovely wind power for now. Doesn't have a lot of people, or doesn't have a generate a lot of power, but we can customize almost every building that we can put in the game. If I want to put more turbines, generate more power, we can do that at a later date. So I get to do that. Right now, though, I probably have a demand for... I don't know. Let's find out what I have a demand for. They're getting their power, they're getting their water, we've got some jobs for them. We're making a little bit of money. That's one gripe that that's another gripe that I actually had with this game, believe it or not. I didn't want that tool. It could just be the beta, I don't know, it could just be the beta. But one thing that I've noticed so far with this game is that it's incredibly simple. Like right now, I am completely obeying what you're supposed to do, and I'm keeping it so the wind blows the pollution from these factories, you know, the frack out of my city. But just for giggles, in the first beta, I put like a row of industrial like right here, right next to my industry, or right next to my residence, just to see what the negative effects are. Like, am I gonna get abandoned buildings? What's the consequence? Oops, wrong button. What's the consequence of, you know, your citizens not being happy? And I wasn't able to find it out. They were still telling me, you know, everything's great here, sir. So that's that's kind of weird. It's a little weird. But again, that could just be the beta. That might just be the beta. Who knows? Certainly not me. And you can see everyone's happy now that there is a town hall. I can name my city. Let's call it Boots. Those of you who watch my SimCity 4 LP will know why it is in fact called Boots. Giving props to good old bootstraps. Oh yeah. See, that half circle is going to start our commercial. Our residential's pretty much all been filled in. Our RCI is still happily down here. Anyone who has played the first SimCity games will be very familiar with that. The bar fills up. That's what you need. Simple, simple, simple. Not making too much. Tell you what, we're going to kick you onto high. And we're gonna drag you around there. I'm gonna have to link this through later, or maybe sooner. But let's not just do everything into what may be eventually medium density. Let's have fun with some other tools. Let's say... I don't know if I can bring myself to do dirt, but let's have another smaller cul-de-sac thing back in here, maybe. Maybe something... nope, not quite there. Maybe something like this. And around there, all we're gonna do is have like a little bit of a... come on, there we go. A more neighborhood-ish kind of feel there. I don't know if we're going to be needing... I don't really know. Let's see if we can go with low-density streets. Let's connect it up in two places. Let's connect it up here. And let's connect it up... I don't know. I can connect it like here to there, I guess. And immediately kills the people that were there and creates what I was looking for. Very good, very good. Some more residential in the middle of this. The tool seems to be a little bit finicky. As you can see, I had to do multiple clicks to drag it. Could just be me not knowing how to use it to its best effect just yet. It's probably that. It's probably that. Like, this is nice and smooth. But I think 'cause I did the other one a little bit more by hand, it's not perfect, so the little edges there. You can see like a little bit of a turn there. Kind of get stuck. I suppose that's normal. Speaking of normal, it is not normal to just like sit here blindly and not give your people anything. Let's go and give them some stuff. Because in SimCity 4, they were all happy with by doting on them. So let's do a little bit of doting on our citizens right now. Let's quite literally, well, I'm not going to say that. Let's just take away their sewage. Let's just say that. And again, you can see all the sewage running on away. What is this? Treatment plant. Not having access to that in the beta. Okay. Those still no access in the beta. That's normal. Recycling center. Okay. Garbage dump. Need that too. Yeah, so we're gonna have a garbage dump right on the water. Prime condition for it. Who cares? Who cares? This is just to show you about what you can expect. Ooh, that's another thing that I liked. You can upgrade your town hall. I kind of missed this from the first SimCity. Because the first SimCity, there are a bunch of different things that happened. When you unlocked a certain amount of people, you got better music, and your mayor's house just looked cooler. And sure enough, the town hall, when you upgrade it, let's zoom in a little bit more. When you upgrade it, it sure enough does change appearance. Quite drastically too, complete with the fireworks we've come to know and love from SimCity 4. So that's kind of interesting. Let's give them some stuff because we're still making money, so let's see if we can't fix that by going a little bit more broke. Let's give them health. I'm gonna have that more over here. Maybe over here, I don't know. It seems to imply the radius of it, I guess. Oh, not enough simoleons. Guess we're not gonna do that right now. Screw them! What else do we need? More commercial! Okay, I didn't think we need that much commercial just yet, but I guess I'm wrong. Let's add a second row of commercial there. Yep, our commercial demand's pretty high. Getting a pretty high demand for residential a little bit. Just for medium wealth residential, actually. And we've got good old industry peering its ugly head again. But we can deal with industry. Let's see. Industry, industry, industry. Can I drag you over any more? Yeah, I can. A little bit more. A little bit more. And I can cut through. No, I can't. Okay, where can I cut through you? Right there, it looks like. Okay, I'll do that. We'll do it this way, and we'll do it this way, which would also bring to rise another question about traffic. In Cities XL, those of you who played it, this right here would cause a huge problem. Traffic would get so backed up at this point that that everything would just die. So let's see if that happens here as well. Because what is the beta for, if not some experimentation? Now clearly you can see by now, when I'm dragging it, that little marker that's appearing right here is as the maximum space that a building is going to take up on this road. I mean, it might not at first, but by the time it builds up to its maximum density allowed on that road, that's essentially the amount of space it's going to be needing. So when you're building like this, you can see that if I wanted to build, here for example, you can see that line is running into the road, so you're not going to be able to get the maximum density, like industrial building, if you're building right in there, because it's being hit by that road. But if you're building somewhere over here, it's nice and free to do whatever it wants, so it can build up to, you know, whatever. Need a lot of people, that's easy to fix. right next to the industry. Oh yeah, that's how we roll on this one, sorry. You can see right away that I'm really serious about checking out traffic issues. That's sounding a little bit loud to me. You can see that I'm really serious about checking out traffic issues by putting all my people on one side and forcing them to go through the roads. Because again, I'm curious to see what happens when they get angry. And while we're making them angry, we're making a lot of money, so we can do things like put in that clinic that we wanted to do. Let's say I'm going to put it here. And furthermore, let's say that we're going to take this little medium avenue and cut through. Let's see, I want to give them other things such as the school, because we're having enough for a school, but where to put the school? Where to put this? Actually, put the school back here. Yeah. Nothing built there yet. This is also an interesting little reinvention in this particular SimCity series. Previous ones, it was just a radius, much like this circle. I would see an area of what this school would actually cover. Here, what that covers depends on who can get there, right? So, how do they get there? Well, they get there as you probably did back when you were in school, or if you are still in school, with bus stops. See, they're happy because they can now go to school. As are they. As are they. Let's see, that's... You can see that right there, this little green haze right there. I can see who's covered and who isn't. So I'm trying to fit that in. They can now go. They can now go. And they can now go. So right away, we got that all nicely taken care of. And there might be a few spaces that I missed. These guys don't look like they can go. I may have to do something about that. But for now, we don't care. Did I put in a police station? I don't think I did. Let's put in a police station. Not enough simoleons. Let's not put in a police... What? Really? 30,000 for a PD. Okay. Well, let's wait a second. La 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 la. 30,000. There we go. So I'm gonna put this little guy in. And while I'm here and waiting for my money to go back up, let's check out a few of these menus. See what else we can do, because we have the education. Don't have access to the other buildings in the beta, unfortunately. We've got mass transit. We can take a peek at what's going to be available, such as the bus depots. Bus terminals, which might be better for your larger cities. Again, don't have access to it. You do have access to streetcars, I guess trams and what have you. Rail, this is really what I can't wait to play with. I can't wait to play with streetcar tracks and seeing what we can do. Just like I can't wait to play with trains and seeing exactly how that works in your city and throughout your region. Really looking forward to that. And of course, I definitely cannot put in a municipal airport in my freaking region. Not in the beta. However, we do have access to a lot of different parks. This screen has been completely redone. If you played SimCity 4, you'll know that you had like 3 options. A small, a medium, and a large park. Here you have parks pretty much based on, as you can see, by wealth. You have your basic playgrounds, barbecue pits. I mean, you've got a lot of different things. You can just make it all green, I guess. You can put in large fields like you're used to from SimCity 4. Same thing with plazas. You can stylize that differently. But what's really interesting is in SimCity 4, you needed a mod in order to build like a large interlocking plaza system or park system. Here, not really quite so much, because, let's see, I haven't really played with this very much, but I can use essentially this as connector pieces almost to build a large area, and I haven't really experimented with it that much, so I'm not going to do it now.